Let's get straight to the point. If you feel lost, like the system isn't made for people like you, you're not crazy. You're just waking up. And that's actually a good thing, because the moment you realize the game is rigged is the same moment you stop playing by their rules. That's when life starts changing. I learned this the hard way. I was 19, broke, confused, and pretending everything was fine. Every day felt like a loop. Wake up, eat whatever I could find, scroll through my phone, work a shift I hated, go to sleep, repeat. No plan, no passion, just hoping something would magically change. But nothing ever does. Unless you do. One night, I was sitting in my car after a delivery shift. Rain tapping on the window. I just sat there. Engine off, no music, just silence. That's when it hit me. I had no idea who I was becoming. I wasn't building anything. I wasn't learning. I was just existing, floating. And it scared me. Not in a horror movie way, but in a what if this is it kind of way. So I made a rule, a small one. I said, every day I have to do one thing that makes me smarter, stronger, or better with money. That's it, one thing. Watch a video, go to the gym, save $5, learn a new skill. Didn't matter what, just one brick on the wall every day. At first, nothing changed. It actually felt worse, like running through quicksand. But around week 3, something shifted. My brain felt sharper. I started speaking more clearly. I stopped saying, I don't know so much. You know that feeling when you look at old pictures of yourself and think, who even was that? Yeah, that was me, except it was from a month ago. But here's the part they don't want you to know. You don't need permission to change your life. You just need proof that small changes work. And I'm telling you, they do. You're probably wondering if this even works. If doing one small thing a day actually leads anywhere. Trust me, I asked the same thing. But what I didn't know was how fast everything can shift when you finally take yourself seriously. Let me tell you about this day that honestly broke me. I was trying to learn about money, investing, credit, side hustles, all that. And I stumbled into this confusing article about Roth IRAs. I read it 3 times. Still didn't get it. I felt dumb, like maybe I'm not cut out for this smart money stuff. I almost quit. But something told me, try again tomorrow. Not because I'm special, but because the alternative was staying stuck forever, so I kept reading, watched a simpler video instead. Bro, it clicked. Not all of it, but enough. I started seeing how the rich people stay rich. Not from working harder, but from understanding the rules. And most people never realize this, but those rules are hidden on purpose. It's not about talent. It's about patience and patterns. Most people are out here trying to become millionaires without even knowing how taxes work. That was me too. Until I started asking dumb questions. Googling words like compound interest or net worth. You don't need to be smart. You just need to start. Now, every time I spend $5 on something stupid, I pause. What if I just save this and put it into something useful? I didn't used to think that way, but now it's automatic. That's how you know your mindset is changing. Stay with me, because in just a few moments, you'll see how this all connects. I used to think discipline was for other people. Athletes, soldiers, rich folks. Not me. I was the guy who hit snooze 5 times, forgot appointments, never finished books. But something happened that changed everything. One morning I missed a job interview. Not because I overslept, but because I got distracted scrolling on my phone and completely forgot the time. I stared at the screen after realizing and just felt this mix of shame and anger. Like, how did I let my brain get this lazy? That day I deleted all my apps. I'm serious. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, gone. I didn't even tell my friends. I just dipped. First 2 days, I was itching. Like I'd reach for my phone out of habit. But by day 4, I started seeing things. Not visions. I mean life. I looked around and realized how much time I used to waste. I picked up journaling. I started writing 1 paragraph a day. Some days it was dumb stuff like, I ate toast. Other days it turned into deep thoughts like, why do I avoid doing hard things? That's when I learned something wild. Writing reveals what your mouth hides. But here's the craziest part. I actually started liking myself more. Not in an ego way, but like I trusted myself. I'd say, I'm going to do this, and I'd actually do it. That's rare nowadays. Most people talk. But when you start stacking wins, even tiny ones, it builds this weird kind of confidence. Quiet confidence. Not loud, not flashy, just solid. And from that point, I stopped chasing motivation. I stopped waiting for the perfect time. I just showed up, even when I didn't feel like it. Because no one's coming to save you. But you can still save yourself. I gotta tell you this part because it's where everything almost fell apart. I was doing well, learning, saving, working, building routines. I even started waking up early, hitting the gym, tracking my meals. You know that quiet momentum you feel when things are finally clicking? Yeah, that. Then my car broke down. Not like a flat tire, I mean dead. Whole engine failure. It was a Monday, raining, and I had 3 deliveries to make. No backup plan. And I remember just sitting there again, like I did months ago, hands gripping the wheel, thinking, why do I even try? That night I almost gave up. I almost went back to doing nothing. The easy path was calling me. But I remembered something I told myself the first time I felt lost. Your future self is watching you right now. So I borrowed a friend's bike, started delivering on 2 wheels. It sucked. I was sweating, tired, barely making tips. But I was still moving, still stacking those small wins. And most people never realize this. But progress isn't always pretty. It just has to exist. And you know what? 2 weeks later, I got a small bonus from one of my gigs. Just enough to fix the car. Not a miracle. Just the result of not quitting. Here's the part they really don't tell you. Most people lose not because they're weak, but because they pause too long. They sit in failure instead of crawling through it. And that pause becomes a habit. I didn't want that to be my story. So if you're in a slump right now, if life feels unfair, slow, or pointless, I get it. But I'm begging you, don't pause for too long. Crawl through it, even if it's ugly. Especially if it's ugly. You made it here. So let me leave you with something I wish someone told me earlier. The world wants you to believe you're behind. That if you're not rich, famous, shredded, or traveling every weekend, you're failing. But that's not real life. That's just marketing. Real life is slow, repetitive, full of doubts. But it's also where peace lives, where purpose starts to grow. When you're not chasing noise, you start hearing your own voice again. A few months ago, I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't hate what I saw. That might sound small, but for me, that was everything. I was sleeping better, eating cleaner, reading more. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. That's the shift no one talks about. When you get your mind right, your life follows. So if you've made it this far, maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're just early. Early in your journey. Early in your growth. And that's okay. Let the others rush. Let them fake it. Let them post highlight reels. You're building something real, quiet, solid, yours. And that's how you win. Not overnight, not all at once, but brick by brick, day by day, one honest choice at a time. Because in the end, no one claps for you at the beginning, but they'll ask you how you did it in the end. Now go make your future self proud.